between both of us, we know a
Hey,
lot of
hey,
music
hey,
people.
hey, it's time to go
What's
live.
going
It's time to go
on?
live.
It's
It's time to go
SW
live. It's time to go
Podcast
live. Hey,
Wednesday.
hey, hey.
We're
What's up,
back.
y'all?
We're
What's up,
back.
y'all? What's up, y'all? It's SW Podcast Wednesday. It is June 15th, 2022. Y'all see, I had to say that with
Y'all know she
emphasis.
always got the pause, y'all. She
I got to
always got
pause.
the
I have to make sure
pause.
I say it correctly. I don't need no issues because, the dates be changing on me.
They'll be all in the comments. Queen don't know
The,
her date.
the dates be changing on me. I don't be.
They be moving quick, Queen. They be
They
moving
move,
quick.
they move,
You
they
know,
move.
last month moved so quick for you. It was just like in and out. You had so much going on. So it.
And June is actually starting to feel like that.
Well, this is half of the month. Like this is half
We're
of the month.
already. I am. I just need things to slow down just a little bit. But life has been like this for like since 2020. Though we have had
Yeah,
speediest years since 2020. So maybe 2000 wasn't the time. What the change was? Maybe it was 2020. I don't know.
2020.
Yeah,
that double two
bought some
zero two
change.
zero.
Well, we got a very, very interesting topic today, y'all, and we are going to get into it as soon as we have this quote of the day. But before that, Queen, how's everything going with you? What's been popping? You good? What's
I'm
happening? How's life?
good. I'm good. Life is good. I just been under the radar, minding my business, staying to myself, and working, eating, sleep, home. Working, eating, sleep, home. Besides the wedding this weekend, which was that was a nice wedding.
Good.
It was a nice wedding, and I had a good time. My parents was there. Joke Kiki with them. You know, my stepdad is just hella hilarious. Like we had to like be kicking him up under the table, telling him to shut up because he talking trash, all that. But it was good. My cousin conference, a little bit that I did see, that was good as well. So I can honestly say I had a good weekend. I had a real good weekend. What about you, boo? What about you?
The weekend was beautiful. We had a great chef sampler this past weekend. Booked a couple more gigs. Got
Ooh,
more gigs coming up. And then
yes, we speaking into existence more and
it's
more.
just it's happening. It's
Booked,
happening.
booked, booked.
And then, of course, I'm trying to do a lot more marketing with the podcast. So trying to get like things done so that we can pop a little bit because this would have been our second year going on our tour
Hmm.
or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out I'm rethinking about when we could do a tour and it doesn't have to because our tours don't always have to go in the
It don't
summer.
got to be in the summertime.
Don't have to go in the summertime. So as long as we are good with when it happens, we gonna pop out and do a tour. And
Now, football season may not be a bad time to pop out, do one or two.
because the travel time will be great and it's gonna be areas we
Mhm,
can go. We play people we can talk to and a lot going on during
mhm.
that time. So
And right here in our own city, go Rappers.
exactly. So,
Yes.
we got a lot working.
Hey,
We
hey,
got some behind the
hey.
scenes stuff going on. What's going on, Kels?
What's else?
What's popping?
Yeah, I'm excited though. I'm ready, Queen.
Yeah.
I just excited. Look, I'm excited for these children that's going off to college. It ain't damn one of mine
Whoo.
going, but just everybody else's on that's going.
Well, one
Like
of mine going.
it's
I'm
just
super
an
excited
amazing
too.
time. It's an
It
amazing
is.
time. It is really an amazing time, and I love it. Like
It really
y'all
is.
keep shining, keep shining.
It really is. It really is. So, but it's my homie speaking to us. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Mr. Kelly, he said, "Hey, Queen. Hey, Goddess. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening, King.
Kels, appreciate you tuning in every
Yes,
Wednesday, Kels, because you've been on here with us.
that's my
Appreciate that,
dog."
King. Appreciate that, King. Salute, King. Salute, King.
And we have one of our
Our
podcast
brother Joe.
extraordinaires on here,
Oh,
Joe.
Joy.
And he always got to come
Joe, you always
how he
come with the
come.
shits. You always
And
come with the shits, Joe. You always come with the shits. You got me on here cursing, Joe. You always come with the shits, Joe. Always come with the shits.
Joe say
I
he
love it,
ready.
JoJo.
He say he ready with his condom one. We see. I say, I say, Joe, Joe,
Always
do
come
your
with the
thing.
shits.
Do your thing. Whatever you got to do and however you got to come with it. Yes, sir, Kels.
Oh my God.
So Our quote of the day is: "You can't force chemistry to exist with when it where it doesn't. In the same way, you can't deny it when it does." Author unknown. Y'all heard
That's
that right?
very true. That is very, very true. You can't.
You can't
You
force
can't.
chemistry to exist when it doesn't. In the same way, you can't deny it when it does.
Mm-mm. Now hold
So,
up. Now hold. So chemistry. But what? No, two people got to have the chemistry. But could
mm-hmm,
that one person have chemistry for that other one? But they don't work like that. Now do
mm-mm. And chemistry is a
it?
magnetic field,
Yeah, it's a
so
magnet. Yeah.
it has to definitely accommodate something.
And
Um,
you know what? You can feel the chemistry and the energy between people when they really vibe with each
yes,
other.
yes.
You can feel the love. Back to the wedding this weekend, like just the love that was in the room. Like it was so powerful. And it be like that when you can actually
When it's
see it
real.
and when it's real,
Mm-hmm.
like it's when it very organic. I was like, yeah, like this here, yeah. This is what it's about. Even some people was like, shoot, I still got hope. I was like, well, what you lost hope? You know what I'm saying? Like, but the chemistry, you know when two people have chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
they might try to play it off, y'all, but they can't.
Because it's something that you can't really hide it.
Mm-mm,
Like,
mm-mm,
I've like,
mm-mm,
let me tell you what's so funny about that, because I used the person I used to date back in high school or whatever. When we used to be out, we weren't ready for people to know we used to date yet, right? Well, I wasn't ready for people to know, and
You
and
weren't ready,
so
Queen.
I wasn't ready. So in the same token, I was like, but we'll be out and people could kind of like see that something
They
going
can see
on
it.
by how, like, okay, if we go up, if I'm at the table getting something to drink at the party or something, he might walk up to the table and like the way he talking to me, it ain't like how he talking to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mm-hmm,
this. So people gonna see the chemistry, like, because
mm-hmm.
you can't hide it. It's evident.
Yeah.
Like they said, you can't deny it. So all that
And
I
y'all,
can
it can
go
be
out
you can
and
act, and you can be have chemistry with somebody. You just meet them that day and
that
just
day,
like that
that
day
day.
at like that. I mean, it's that strong.
We was talking about that in one of my other groups that my man and Marco Polo, and we'll talk about the chemistry and how like we were talking about how people just have instant one night stands. And because
Hmm.
I wasn't one of those people that
I
really
can't do
believed in
that.
like the one night stand thing, right? But I understand, like, I have had instant chemistry with somebody where we talked from the moment we met all the way until like 3, 4 o'clock that morning, just talking,
Hmm.
talking, 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 and getting to know each other a whole lot more.
Hmm.
Nothing happened, but the point was is that it was very, that like we built a relationship
Y'all
upon
knew.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that night we built a relationship upon that. Like, so instant chemistry is there. So we had to,
And you can
with
feel it
some
when it
certain
go
things you
when
got
it
to have a conversation about it, actually discuss it to see if it's real. Like, you ain't it,
hmm.
but when we was just talking about the conversation of like you can't really be in the room with people, Kel said the body language tells it all. You
It
gonna
does.
exactly the body language. The
That
body language
flirtatious
gonna tell on you.
attitude,
The body language gonna tell on you
the way she slang her hair back.
when she see you, or when you
When she
leaning into
see
her
you.
ear and the way she tuck it. It's
Hmm.
something gonna
Hmm.
happen. Something gonna happen.
Just how, like you say, how somebody just walk up on you
Right.
and say something to you when you knowing. Now they won't let such and such nobody else do them like that. So it's something, you
Something
know,
going on now.
something going
Hmm.
on.
So again, our quote of the day is: you can't force chemistry to exist where it doesn't. And that's real quick before I get out of that. I have hated dog. Like I have had conversations with men, and they'll be like, just telling me what I like, and I'd be like, what?
What? You're like, what?
Because they trying to be into me, but I ain't showing that because I
Yep.
ain't into
You ain't
you.
showing that you into them.
And even in my flirtatiousness, you could still tell I like you. But
Absolutely.
if I ain't flirting with you or saying nothing back to you, it's nothing. So stop trying to like
I
make
just
yourself
ignore
feel
you.
good by saying you like this or you like that. Why are you saying that? Because
Hmm.
I ain't said that.
I see you this type of way, Ma. I see you. You so appreciate
Well, you know how much that bothers my spirit to hear that.
it.
I don't like to be told what I feel. Like,
Mm-mm. They're
ooh, it
attracted
irks
to
me.
you, but you ain't attracted to them.
So that's not chemistry.
That's not chemistry.
So you can't force chemistry to exist when it doesn't, in the same way you can't deny it when it does. So y'all, that's our quote of the day. That's our
And
quote
sometimes you
of
have
the
chemistry with
day.
people, and it just be at the wrong. It don't be the right time
It do
in
not.
life. It do not be everything with that person be darn near perfect, but it just be like this is just not the right time. Wrong, right person, great chemistry, wrong time.
Wrong time. Not the right environment, not the right scene, not the right
Mm-mm.
moment,
And
nothing.
even that person, like I say, chemistry good, but they just not there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you may be mentally, but everything, but that is something, something.
Chemistry is something though. Um, okay, so the conversation today is great sex and the rise of unprotected sex in our communities.
Mm,
Um,
mm, 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 mm.
we all know that the raw, jagged sex feels so good, so good, so
Have you
soothing
singing, baby?
to
Have
the
you
body,
singing?
and extremely pleasurable. Queen, you is gonna make me fall off track over here.
It will have you singing. Y'all out there know what we talking about. Look, we 40. Well, everybody might not be 40 over here, but y'all know what we talking about. How the rest of us got here. Have them
Y'all might not be 40, but we
singing.
are.
We are.
So, okay, let me go back to I'm trying to give a monologue here before we jump into the
But it's good. It's
conversation.
good. Baby, please.
We all know that the raw, jagged sex feels so good, so pleasurable, and so soothing to the body that sometimes we forget it comes with consequences and repercussions.
Mm,
Sex is so good, but living in an unhealthy, unequivocal relationship that's not trusting can make sex really, really bad. Um, just for you and especially for you and that person. Like if it's, we're gonna have a conversation today about these guys cutting up in here. We're gonna have a conversation today about how we're going to educate ourselves on continuing to be more protected during that process, especially if you're going to be having sex on a regular basis raw
with
with your
multiple
sexual
partners.
partner. With multiple partners, we ain't raw. We ain't raw. We ain't raw now.
Some of these
But
fools is though.
I know that's why we have a rise. We have a 43%. We it said in 2019. I don't know how correct this is now because I know Joe work in this field, so he might be able to pop on
Mhm.
here with a stat for us. But from what I gathered off of the internet a couple weeks ago, 43% of the HIV cases in 2019 were from the Black population.
Wow.
43%,
Wow.
and that was in 2019. I don't know how accurate the number is today. Um, Oh, he said bring him in. Hold on, hold on. He
Oh
gonna come
yes,
on.
Joe.
Okay,
Joe
hold
gonna
on, Joe.
give us some of
Joe,
this
let me see you.
information.
I ain't gonna be. How do I? Let me see. Hold on. Invite. I can't do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it, Joe. Oh, I can do it. I can private message you. There we go. I forgot about that. I be forgetting all about. Girl, I be forgetting all about this stuff.
Queen, queen, queen. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Oh no, I can't private message him because he ain't on there. Joe, I'm just gonna put it right here, okay? You're just gonna have to grab it right here, and I'll delete it once you get on. But let me go to my comments. He can see. He can get it right here.
Dang, we are episode 125, guys. Like, wow.
There we go. Paste. Okay. So Joe gonna come on and tell us what the stats is for the current in one
That'll be
second.
good. That'll be good
But
to know.
that's gonna be the most up to date because again, I said that this is from the 2019 stats. I couldn't find anything else more prevalent to today's.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining in. Hold on. Let me get hold on. To all the people that are tuning in now. Thank y'all so much. All right. Joe, you got that? No, I put it all on the screen. So I want to go ahead and get him on before I continue. But let's see. Oh, there he is. Okay. So let me delete that. I don't want nobody else to jump on now. Delete that. Oh, that one ain't gonna go nowhere. There go Joe.
Joe, Joe, Joe.
What's up,
What
Joe?
up? What's
What
going
up,
on?
Joe? What up, Joe?
How y'all doing out here in these world?
You know we
Out in
great.
these
How you doing, Joe?
streets. We're doing
Man,
good.
I'm good. Hold on, let me get get into the camera. Okay, let me get right here then. I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Can't
So, Joe,
complain, Joe. Good.
tell the people what you do so they can understand why you know these facts, but also and enlighten us on the most current rate that we are growing in the community of HIV or any the STD population period. So, what
Okay.
you got for us?
Okay. So I'm a HIV/AIDS health educator, outreach specialist, trainer, tester for the last 13 years here in Tallahassee, Florida. Um, so from now, overall, especially with women, but overall, HIV stats overall have decreased. Like the rate of HIV as far as new infections, it has decreased.
Great.
Now,
That's good.
one of the reasons why HIV rates, and especially in some places, are decreasing is because of a lot of the HIV outreach efforts that people have put out. Like state of Florida had one of the best programs. Now,
Okay.
I'm more up to date on our local stats than I am national stats.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but see, y'all have to bring me back because I do have a PowerPoint on my office computer with all the stats and stuff. But
Okay.
um, I do know there's a rise in HIV in ages 13 to 25,
Wow.
and there's also a rise in HIV in 50 plus.
We was just talking about the
We just
elderly
talked about
community.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I tell people all the time, you got to remember these people been having sex for a long time. Why they gonna
Very
stop?
long time.
Don't you like having sex?
Yep.
If it still work, you're gonna use it.
Yep.
Most definitely.
So they're like, so 2019 stats, 2020 stats, those about the best you're gonna get.
Okay.
Because you gotta stats always go back about 2 or 3 years, so it take a while to compile everything.
Okay.
Um,
Get all the
but I'm
data.
looking at something and it's talking about race and ethnicity. The annual number of HIV infections in 2019 compared with 2015 decreased among multiracial persons, but remained stable for persons of all other races and ethnicities. In 2019, the highest rate was for Black African Americans, which is always, I'm gonna get back to that, which was 42.1%, followed by the rates for Hispanic Latino at 21.7, and multiracial persons at 18.4. So the Black community, we still not getting it right. We
Mm-hmm.
still out here bullshit. when it comes to sex. So, we are joking about, and you're serious, and we joking in the comments about unprotected sex, but that's something that we need to take more serious, and we
Mm-hmm.
need to. It needs. I'm so pissed at parents for still sending their kids to college with no sexual education. If you're a parent and you're looking at this, you're a parent and you got a teen child, and you ain't talked about sex yet with your teen child, you behind the eight.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period. I ain't taking
Because
up.
that conversation is very juicy.
Yeah.
And that's why I put that comment right there.
Show
And
up.
my
Show
mom
up.
had my mom had that conversation with me when I was in the 5th grade and
Right.
beyond.
Yes, we've
She
been talking
started with
about
us.
that.
She started with us
Right.
in elementary school.
And so here in Tallahassee, the around the summertime, around the beginning of the summer, we always have a spike in syphilis cases.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I always get a call around the same time every year from do that health department. Hey, we need to get back out in these streets and do some syphilis stuff. And they have a syphilis conference and all these things. So I remind people, especially in our area, the state of Florida is ranked number 3 right now as far as HIV cases. Um, it was battling New York and California, but New York and California kind of got their stuff together. So we battle in DC. I forgot the other state, but remember, Washington DC is not a state. It's really a
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got a city of DC that's competing against states like Florida, and I forgot the other state off the top of my head, but their HIV rates are high.
That's
But,
crazy.
but Tallahassee specifically, we always rank in the top 3 in syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. We're usually number 1 and number 2 in gonorrhea, chlamydia.
Because we
So
got the college
Mm.
city.
right, and FAMU does a better job. FAMU students they take safe sex a lot more serious than Florida State.
Yeah.
We go to FAMU, we do outreach, we do testing, pass out condoms. We can do 100 tests, pass out all our condoms. We go to Florida State. If we get 2 tests, we happy. Because what they tell us, we don't have sex. Yes,
They
y'all do.
lie.
Yes,
Yes, y'all
y'all been
do.
having sex Wayland Elementary School
We
by
know they're
now.
having sex because they coming into the clinic to get treated.
Right, right. But also, it's
That
like reminding people, yes, you want to protect yourself against HIV. You don't want HIV.
But
But
you want to protect it against everything else too.
right, you have a better chance of getting chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis than you do HIV. It's easier to
hmm
transmit those from skin to skin contact.
Right.
Reminding people with HIV, it's a blood-borne pathogen. Blood-borne means it's born, it lives, and it
it
dies in the
lives
blood.
and it dies. Hmm
Outside the body, outside the bloodstream, HIV only lasts about 3 hours. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing to help the cells replicate because that's what it does. When the HIV cell gets into the body, you have the CCR5 receptors, and CCR5 receptors. Just think like if you're watching a movie, you see like the spaceships or something, they clamp on something, and those receptors they like clamp on it like this, and that allows the HIV cell to get into the white blood cell. So
hmm
you got these things happening in the body, but HIV rarely travels alone. It usually travels with syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia. So put it like this: we have people. I know people who are HIV positive who catch a new STD every month.
Wow.
Think about that. Just let
So
that
they just
marinate.
so it's just passing.
You passing. You're contracting STDs, but the question is, are you passing HIV?
Probably not though.
It depends on how you have sex
Mm.
because
Right.
points of entry. People always have to remember about points of entry. That's why put that juicy comment back up because it's so relevant. It's so relevant though because the wetter the better. The wetter
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
wetter it is,
Yeah.
the more protection you get against breakage in the skin. The smallest break in the skin is big enough for the HIV cell to get in.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if a guy's HIV positive, he trying to stick it into a girl and she not wet enough. If there's
She might
tearing,
get it.
yep, if she got ports of entry, if there's any kind of tearing, scrapes, bruises, whatever, anything that can open up
Hold
and
on, let
allow
me
the
put this
Okay.
HIV to
comment
breathe.
up here. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
saying this so
Wow.
y'all can be out here just going out doing it. I'm just saying this so y'all know
Yeah,
that this is why
That's crazy.
less
it's wild out there.
points
I
of
mean, wow.
entry.
It's wild out here. I mean, especially for our community, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we we we've seen the rise in HIV cases in the Hispanic community, but the Black community is
Creates
still
less
number one,
points of entry.
right? So young Black men who have sex with men and
Oh my
heterosexual Black
God.
women. So
It's a rise in that.
it used to, our target populations went from 13 years ago. Target populations were Black men who have sex with men, Latino men who have sex with men, white men who have sex with men. Now it's Black men who have sex with men, Black women who have sex with men, Latino men, white men, and so on and so on. So Black women are the second most at-risk group of
Oh my
people
God.
as far as contracting HIV. And so going back to what you
Mm.
talk about, chemistry and all these things here, conversations,
Mm-hmm.
having
Yeah.
conversations about sex, being honest about what you're trying to do, going and get tested. If you're not getting tested, you tripping. If you're not wrapping it up, you tripping.
You tripping.
It's wild out here. Like you have to. They make all different types of condoms,
All
all
different.
types of condoms, and in most cities, condoms are free. Like I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and they were people act like in low income communities that just across the board we don't have access
To
to
condoms.
resources, right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
safe sex condoms and stuff. But in actuality, yes, that's true for some communities, but that's not true for all communities.
And
Yeah.
I
So
would don't wouldn't you think that in our
I was gonna say
city,
not even.
because our low income community areas really get a lot of resources because we go out
Mm-hmm.
and they definitely are getting served
right,
and
see,
they show up for the service.
right, Tallahassee is different because of the amount of services. Tallahassee is a city where you get all your safe sex equipment for free.
Mm-hmm.
You can eat for free in Tallahassee. If you know where every food drive gonna be, you can eat for free in this city. You don't have to go grocery shop. You just got to be willing to stand in the line.
Mm-hmm.
And so resources like here, we do know resources are available, but
Mm-hmm.
people are still doing what they're doing, lack of education. Some people just not caring. Some people just not understanding how relationships and things should work.
Work.
Sexual relationships. I always tell people, good sex make bad relationships worse.
Oh God.
Oh.
It do.
Mm.
It really does.
That the dude bad or the girl bad, they're not good for you, but they good in bed.
But they
That
got
makes you
great
stay.
sex. Oh my, and you
Mm-hmm.
stay so long.
Yep,
Just
yep,
because he be your head in good. For real.
yeah,
That's true
yeah,
though.
We've all fell victim to bullshit
We
like
all
that before.
have.
You know,
We all have.
I don't take any
We
shyness
all
from it,
have.
but the point
right.
is that it happens. And
So I got a question for you all. As far as women, especially when it comes to unprotected sex,
mhm.
have you all ever been afraid to negotiate condom use?
No.
No.
I asked that because I run into a number of women that are afraid to negotiate condom use.
I bring
So
up the
Oh.
condom.
Mm-mm.
so
Mm-mm.
so with that, how do you all, like you say you bring it up? How do you bring it up, and why aren't you afraid to bring it up?
Because it's my for one,
It's
I'm
my
not afraid
life.
because this my damn body. And this mine. This mine. This
Yeah.
mine. This
Period.
mine. But
And that's some
it's brought
conversation
up.
you should have before you even that even happened. That's that first. That's almost that first week conversation.
Well, I think a lot of times people feel like people just should know that it's
That
supposed
too.
to happen.
That too.
You know what I'm saying? Because
That
on
too.
most times, the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because, for one, I'm bringing it up because I see that's what's finna go down now. Like if we,
Hmm.
because if I ain't got no intentions of doing that, we probably ain't gonna have no conversation like that beforehand. Because I might not even be wanting to talk to you about that right now. Because we might not be thinking about that right now.
Right.
But if it leads to that in that very moment, while we ripping off clothes and stuff, you got a condom? Cause let me go on stop taking my clothes off if you ain't got no condom. I'm
Right.
dead ass serious.
Let me go get
Baby,
some.
we'll blue ball it up if that's what we got to, but
We're
we're
not gonna
not
go
gonna just
unprotected.
because yeah, we just not gonna do
We're
that.
not
Not
gonna go
just and
unprotected.
not no first time or nothing like that anyway.
Mm-mm.
I see my camera acting up. Let me take this Wi-Fi off. But I think that we definitely have to have the conversation up front, like in the middle. If you haven't talked about it before, like Queen said, in the moment, it need to be wear the condom.
Yeah.
Right. But realistically, that's not happening enough. And we got the numbers to prove it. Because if it was happening enough, we wouldn't have. And I ain't talking. I'm excluding race. I'm just talking about
Mm-hmm.
people in the United States. It's
Just
not
people.
happening enough because of the amount of STDs that are passed each year. Now, taking into account different factors, I'm always taking into account the one factor that you know how when some people have stress in their life, they might drink, they might smoke, they might do other things, but
Mm-hmm.
some people have unprotected sex because the same chemicals are released.
And with the end, what they call it again, endomorphins, what they is?
Those endorphins, the serotonin,
Endorphins.
the oxytocin, all
Serotonin.
those
Yeah.
things
Mm-hmm.
is released, and it's those pleasure chemicals are released, and it make
Mm-hmm.
people feel good. So
That's
Is
that's
that why
one
interesting.
thing.
rape is rape?
Nah, rape. From my research, my understanding, rape is rape for power and control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you could be somebody who get women or get men all the time, but it's a power and control thing. And sometimes those people have been conquered by others. They are victims themselves
Victim
of
themselves. Yeah.
sexual assault.
Yeah,
So
that would make
um,
sense.
it just get passed down. But like I was looking at something. Pat been talking about this for about the last 2 or 3 years. Pair bonding. Y'all familiar with the ideology around pair bonding?
Mm-mm.
No.
So it's talking about sexual differences in men and women, and I forgot the specific chemical that's released, but it's released slower in men than it is in women. So, that's why we always talk about a woman maybe catching feelings, and we know it's not across the
Faster.
board, right? But a woman catching feelings faster after sex than a man. How men
Mm-hmm.
can have more sexual partners, like we can have sex with
Mm-hmm.
somebody and forget about them 5 minutes after that sex,
Mm-hmm.
but for women,
That
that's
and
takes like
that be kind of untrue for y'all too. But go ahead.
yeah. It's not across the board, and then you have to take into account men ain't the same no more.
Right.
So, but from the studies and things, it's the more partners a woman has, the harder it will be for her to actually settle down on one person. And so that's the pair bond. But eventually, over time, even for men and some of these different type of dudes as well, the more partners you have, the harder it is for you to actually be able to settle down with one person because you're comparing the person that
Mm-hmm.
you're with the other people in the past, and don't let the person that you're with not be the best sex you ever had. Like
Oh.
an example, it was a story that a woman was on her deathbed. Her husband been taking care of her for the last 2 years. She's terminally ill. She's dying. She got like 6 months to live. Her dying wish is to have sex with her ex. That was the best sex she ever had.
Stop playing.
Dead
Get
serious.
out. Get
It
out.
was that damn good. Look at what
Man, she crazy. But like,
that you
okay, so
asked
why she
your
just ain't
husband
just?
because you died.
Oh
Look
my
here,
Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
King.
But she
Can
was
I
honest.
have what? Hey,
She was
that's true
honest.
too, Cheryl. That's
What you
too
said,
funny.
Shelby?
She was honest.
Yeah, she was honest, but it's just like, dang, that's messed up.
That's
Especially
sad. That's cold.
it is, it is.
I
But
bet you
it's
he looked at his. How old were they?
he didn't say, but I'm a assume between 25 and 35. I'm gonna assume
Get
that.
out. Get out.
So
That's too young. That's too young for you to be tripping like that, lady.
So
I expect
and
the older elderly lady to say some shit like that.
nah, but this is something that he put
At
out,
least 75.
right?
Okay, so
But
we just before we jump into the next part, I want to say I want to keep Joe here for a second. Joe, you ain't gotta go nowhere right now. Do it.
man, I'm rocking with y'all. We going
Okay,
down.
so
Okay,
Joe
let's
on
rock and
right now.
roll.
Joe on. Joe on. So the next we before out because I don't want y'all to lose the fact that we here to talk about great sex too. So let's wean into great sex. But Joe,
Mm-hmm.
wrap it up about the safe sex portion to lead into the great sex portion. I'm gonna let you do that. I already got something for me, but I
Okay.
want you to go into it. Say that.
No, safe sex is a part of great sex because a person who cares about you won't give you a STD, right?
Mm.
So before you get naked with somebody, have conversations about the who, what, where, when, why, and how. You don't want to be in mid hump and find out somebody a freak and they doing something you don't want to do. So have those conversations before
For
you
real.
have
Yeah,
sex and get tested before you have sex because everything you do after that is your fault.
that's true.
That's
Y'all heard it
true.
from the minister of
Yes.
Say
sexual
sex.
and safe sex and sexual diseases and pulmonary papillomanias and endomorphins and
Then turn me to an
serotonins.
MD,
Yeah,
Go
I
get
heard it
that
from
doctor.
him.
Go get it.
Dr. Sticks.
So now we're gonna talk about great sex. Um,
Mm, great.
do y'all know that in the year 2020 that people slowed down fucking?
For real?
For real? I'm with Joe up there, like, real.
They
I thought they
said
were
that they
hunting
were
more.
We ain't had
calling.
nothing but time. We ain't had nothing but time on our hands at home.
They said is the sex recession turning into the Great Sex Depression, and this was from the 2021 article referencing 2020. But they say that a lot of people were filing for divorce in 2020.
Yeah. Everyone
So
used to
maybe
being with
there
each other
that
like that.
that coincided with each other. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to know, I just want to say this. It said, well, I'm gonna say this first. The highlights of that particular thing is less than 1% of heterosexual married or cohabiting people that participated in that survey report that no sex was in the past year. So they had no sex in 2020 and they were married or in heterosexual or cohabitating relationships. And
They ain't
that's
Mm.
have
less
no
than
sex.
1% of the people who took the test. Um,
They have
but
fun though.
there were only, it said 2,500 people who took the test. So 1% or less than 1%, well, we're going to say 0.99%. We'll just use that as the reference. How much is that, Joe, out of the 2,500 people?
That's probably like 250 people.
250 people?
Probably hold up. Hold up. You said less than one
Less
percent
than
of people
1%
One
wasn't having
of
percent.
the
sex.
people who took the test, the were not having
The
sex.
survey.
The
And
survey,
out of
out of
2,500,
2,500 people, yes.
shoot, less than 1%. That's less than about 25, ain't it?
Okay, well, that's good. Whew.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
I'm tripping. I was thinking
What you said,
5%. That's yeah.
Shelby?
That's probably less than
Like
25.
y'all right here ain't having sex. What? Look, at least it's just a
and y'all
smidget
married,
amount.
y'all lined up in the house. It's only 2,500 people took this test. And even to hear that 25 people, up to 24 people could have been not having sex. That's still a lot of people out
But
of,
yeah, there are a lot of sexless marriages in the U.S.
I'm learning that more and more. I could have never been a part of a sexless marriage.
Mm-mm,
I'm not.
Um,
mm-mm.
I'm not understanding how we get there. But, hey,
I'm for real on that, Joe. Like for real, for real. How? How?
like,
But hey, the chemistry just not there. Some people they marry for other things.
well, that's true. That's true. So a lot of these marriages have went to the wayside because a lot of these people in that one less than 1% have started to lean more on social media, video games, television, and other things that have taken their mind into another direction.
And you got to think about it. Come on, like when you get up in the morning, we up at depends on how your work schedule is. You up at no later than 6:30. So you and your whole household up at 6:30. You getting kids ready if you have kids. If you don't, you getting yourself ready. Your partner getting themselves ready. Depends on what they busy day is actually like. Y'all leave the house when y'all get back home. It's five, six,
Oh, I don't want
seven.
to hear no
Y'all
bullshit
eat
about that.
y'all eat dinner. But
We
no,
better
no,
make
I'm
some
saying, but
time.
this could be why some people and
You
some
right now,
people
Queen.
they don't they got married or dating, whatever, live together, but they never spent this much time together. Like you with somebody 24 hours. We weren't going to work. Well, I was. People weren't going to work. They home with kids, family. They ain't never had to be with each other 24 hours. Only time they was together those full 24 hours, Saturday and Sunday, if they home. But Monday through Friday, these people working 8 to 12 hours. So when you come home, you eat, talk about what y'all day was. You might do your thing, y'all might not, and you go to bed. You wake up, do the same thing over again. So them sitting home probably
Well, y'all
realize,
better
shit, I
incorporate
don't
in
like
y'all
her,
same
I don't like him,
in
and
y'all
realize that they
same
probably
thing
really
over
didn't have nothing in common.
in your everyday routine. You better learn how to incorporate ways to keep your marriage healthy, because
That
there's nothing
Right.
that should eliminate. How does not keeping your marriage healthy not be a part of your daily
What?
routine?
Because
it could have been a part of their daily routine, but just them sitting there watching each other, even though they was working, you still in the house with that person all day long, 24 hours, them 7 days when you was just used to being in the house with that person, 24 hours probably just on the weekend when y'all off, y'all do y'all family thing. But 7 days all day long, we can't go nowhere. Like that could drive some people crazy.
like I do get it
He
from that
said
standpoint.
exactly.
Right. Because I mean I do get it from the standpoint of it's not it disrupted your normal routine. It
Hmm.
disrupted what you've always done, what
Been
you
you,
know,
yeah.
and now
Hmm.
and now you are spending more time around this person. But it also, I'm just
Gives you more
asking the question:
time.
what
That
was the What was the true quality of your relationship before the pandemic? If you,
Right.
because if you had to spend, if you all started spending more time around each other and you realize you don't like each other, what really was the quality of your relationship from the jump?
people marry for all the wrong reasons at times. People get in relationships for all the wrong reasons. They look, I could be in a relationship with you, Joe. We only see each other sometimes at home. We don't see each other all the time. On the weekend, we spending our time together.
But
Because look, I
okay,
ain't seeing you Monday through Friday, but doing my
I
thing.
agree with that, Queen. I understand that because I've heard several people say that, and I haven't heard it. Didn't come out just for convenience. They're saying that their lifestyles. That okay, so when people were forced to work at home, when this
Hmm.
became the narrative for most people in this country, a lot of people took up the insinuation that I'm working from home. I'm supposed to spend a lot of time with my partner
Hmm.
because I'm working from home. Your daily routine is your daily routine. Just like you had to go to work 8 to 5, you should have been at home at work 8 to 5. You can work in the same house, but you still have to have a job and be separate in different
Hmm.
quarters so you can still live your life. You got to make your shit work. It cannot be because we are in a pandemic. I get to see who the real you is, and you get to see who the real. Well, who did you see before? Like Joe said,
Right,
what was
right.
the
Who you
situation
marrying?
before the pandemic? Because if we have to be forced to be in the same space, okay, cool. We're gonna be still in different quarters. I'm gonna work over
Hmm.
here. You gonna work over there. We're gonna do our jobs. We still gonna have date nights. I don't care if all this got to take place in the house. If it failed because of you being in close quarters with your mate, you did not have a stabilized marriage from the beginning.
Look, both of y'all said key things. Candace, you said people married for the wrong reasons.
They married for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Chev, you said you have to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I since 2020, just consuming a lot of content about relationships, from the podcast that we did to the podcast that I've been watching on YouTube. All types of people I try to watch from different points of views,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get a better understanding. Single man, I if I still do believe in marriage, but I'm no fool, and I can see that relationships in the Black community don't have the same quality that they used to. We don't put the same emphasis on relationships, and we just jumping in relationships for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong
Nobody,
reasons.
nobody like it's like relationships have no foundation, no standing. The one
Correct.
foundation relationships do have though is good sex.
And we keep on getting away from that.
Yeah, like
That's why I said that.
they do. They do.
And we
They
keep
do.
getting
They
away
do.
from good sex. So let's talk about this great sex. Okay, so people that are new to this situation, um, of really having really good, great sex. First of all, everybody that has had great sex before, let's see a show of hands.
Child, what? What?
Three.
That
Okay,
part.
so
Oh.
what do you feel is great sex? Joe, you are a guest. What you feel is great sex?
Well, first, from my experience, first it has to be a true connection between the two people, because
Okay.
there's a difference between somebody being good in bed and the total sexual experience being pleasurable and good. So
Yes.
that connection between the two people, like we actually like each other. Like
Mm-hmm.
we not just it's not just lust. Like we actually really like each other.
We
We
got
we
some type of feeling for
right. We
feelings for
building
each
Chemi-
something.
other.
chemistry.
Yeah,
Right.
chemistry.
Right.
Good
And then
chemistry creates great sex.
right. And then for me from there is um the ability and the will to learn and implement and listen and learn and implement that. And the will to want to come in and put that thing on me.
That's
You
right.
I want you to come in that room with the mindset, I'm finna put this on him.
Every single time.
Right. Right.
Every
All the
single
time.
time.
Right. Because
All the time.
I'm not asking you to be a magician in bed, but because
It just need to be good.
I can teach you to do what I need you to do. But I need will, I need know how, I need listen. One of the things I hate is in the middle of it and say, yeah, that feel good, don't stop. And they stop and do something else. I just told you don't stop.
Right.
And
Don't
so
now that's you're not following directions.
and so I want one thing that I know a lot of dudes are afraid to say is, a lot of women aren't as good in bed as they think they are. And, for a lot of women, they believe that, okay, I made him come, so I must be good. No, I was going to do this with or without you.
That's true.
So it's, it's, are we in this? Are we doing this because we building something? Or are we doing this just to get a nut off? Because you could be good in bed, but the quality or the pleasure of the sex is not where it need to be because there's no connection, no chemistry
There's
between the
no
two people.
connection. I don't think
It ain't
great
gonna be
sex, I
good if
don't
it
think
ain't
it's
if
good
you ain't
sex
got it.
then. Because like I think that a lot of people you can nut. You could just anybody can nut. If
Yeah.
it, like if I can get in there and it's wet, splash, splash. But I don't gotta have good chemistry with him or her to get in there and bust. Cause you could be ugly and you suck my coochie real good. I'm gonna come all over your face. Is it gonna matter? Is it
I'm
gonna
dead. I'm
matter?
just dead right
Say
now.
it,
I'm
say it
just
again. Say
dead
it again.
You
right
not saying it again.
I'm just dead right now. You heard it, Joe. Go back and watch the replay, Joe. Go back
I,
and watch the
I,
replay.
I want her to say it again.
All I'm saying,
Oh my God.
all I'm saying is it's not gonna always. It ain't. every every come ain't gonna just depend on the connection, but the good
That's true.
quality of the sex is gonna help depend on the connection. You know what I'm saying? But anybody can
Hmm.
bust.
Yeah, anybody can. They can
Anybody
do
can
it by
cut.
themselves
You heard
too
what
if
I
they
said.
want
E.
to.
I said it just like that because I'm 40 years old. That's what it's called to me.
It's
Yeah.
a chick. It's a chick. Her product is called
True.
that.
I seen that. I seen somebody had something like that.
Her
Okay,
product. It's
so
good product too. Good product.
a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know what is considered great sex to them. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all got me caught up in a
That
moment.
go back to that love language that we talked about some weeks ago.
Yes, yes. But a lot of people ain't looking for that. So for the ones that just wanna, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this out there because a lot of times people love to say it could just be sex. It could just be sex. It won't be a connection. That's a lie.
That's a
That's a
lie. That's
lie.
a lie.
That's a lie. Because for one, um, you got we have soul ties. It's a lot of time people don't want to remember these things, but there are soul ties in sexual
Pair
connections.
bond. Pair bonding.
Your
Same
Exactly.
thing.
energy,
So
other
your
people
energy
energy.
passes through. Like that's why Joe was like, you have a lot. There's people you got some people that can't settle down after having they because they got all them sexual demons and they're talking to each other. It ain't always about it ain't always about the fact that you done had sex with too many people and you don't want to settle down because you like having sex with different people. It ain't just that. It's that your spirit not connecting with people because it might
You
be
didn't
too
had
many
some.
in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
you
just
need to get
saying,
rid of.
like a lot of you got to think about that though. So that's why being sexual with so many people without a condom can be an issue because now y'all sharing a lot of specimens together. It ain't just the HIV because all y'all could be clean, but you still passing off body chemistry, body chemicals,
Hmm.
um,
Energy.
serotonins, endo,
All
all
that.
that stuff that we talked about
Hmm.
earlier. So, but great sex is great sex. If you're doing sex right, you're going to have great sex.
So,
Period.
okay, I got a question for you too, because it's a small minority of women. I will say it is a small minority of women because I've had conversations with thousands of women about sex over the last 13 years due to my job, but some women they have the idea of the man is just supposed to know what she like, and if he don't just know
Mm-mm,
what she
Ooh.
like,
mm-mm,
then he don't know
I
mm-mm.
what,
had a
then
conversation with a friend
he's
like
not
that.
good or whatever.
I had a
Now it
conversation with
depends
a friend
on
like
the
that. You
man.
got
It
to talk
depends on
though.
age. It depends on age though. It
No,
depends on age
no, this man
sometimes.
was
It doesn't.
it because men could be older and still don't know.
That's
It
true too.
like because it's not always about that. Like you're because what they might be used to doing to women might not be what you like. So they might have been able to get away with these things over the years with
Because the
these
last
different
chicks
amount of
like
women.
that.
But exactly, but now you run up on you, and this is a way that you need to be pleased differently.
Yes.
You might need to be riled up a little bit more differently. It ain't we don't all rile up the same. So getting that cartoon is
Hey, a
you
94
gotta
Chevy.
communicate. My point just was saying you gotta communicate what you like.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
you gotta talk.
A 94 Chevy gonna crank up different in the cold than the 2022 Chevy.
You better tell it.
But
That
but
94 need to warm up a little bit.
I asked that because it's I think especially in our community when it comes to relationships and especially sexual relationships, there's because people are always talking about how important communication is, but I'm finding out how a lot of people lack the ability to communicate,
To communicate.
and especially
That's
to
true.
communicate what they want sexually. Once again, I've had it's not a lot, it's a small minority of women, but a number of women who, just like I say, they're afraid to negotiate condom use. They're afraid to say what they want because they don't want to hurt the man's feeling. Like DJ Envy and his wife just went viral a couple months
Oh
ago, a
yeah, I
month or
seen
so
that.
ago, because she
She
went
said she
10.
was
How
faking
you go 10 years without telling this man
faking it.
what he doing ain't working for you. 10
Wait,
years?
what? Shut the fuck
You
up.
you
What?
ain't you
You
got to go
dog,
watch
yeah.
that, Shell. You got to
I'm
watch
a
that. You got to watch that. You
DJ.
got to
So
What they
watch it
was on?
they
on
so
that
it
show.
yeah, they was on it. It's they were promoting the book, but it's something that DJ Envy said a couple of years ago, but it got brought back up recently because they're promoting that
Hmm.
book they put out. But in an interview, she was talking about how for a 10-year stretch in their marriage, he was not making her orgasm, and she wasn't telling him. So she
10
she finally told
years.
him in an argument when she was yelling at him, and they were mad at each other. So you ain't make me come in 10 years, and after that,
What?
of course, right. They had a
10
So
conversation and
she
stuff after
so
years.
that.
so so every time they had sex, she had to go jack off.
Basically,
Basically, that's what she was doing. She was doing sub.
tell me, like for me,
Look,
and
when
it,
I heard
That's
it,
it
I
that's
was like, "What?"
embarrassing. That's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I
look,
wouldn't have never even put that out there like that. Like,
well, that's me. I'm on that. My business
I
is
wouldn't
my
have never
business.
did my man like that.
That's yeah. Why would we talk
Well,
I
about
well,
wouldn't
that?
do
see,
him like that.
well, in fairness, he did that to himself because he
Yeah,
put it
cause
out
That's
first.
true too, Joe, because he did say it
but he
first.
do a lot
That's
of
true
that
too.
though. He do a lot of
That's
that.
true too.
But
He do a lot of that.
but come on, like for me, look, anybody who looking at this and you like me, look, tell me, I don't forget my ego,
I
because
don't care about ego.
us having the synergy that we need is way more important than my ego.
Hmm.
Let me explain something to you. Like this is walking. Before I turned 40, I think I was like 38 when I think I walked fully into Shelby. It takes a while sometimes when you're learning
Yeah,
because you got to learn you in every aspect,
everything
and
about
I'm
you,
talking about every aspect. When I
everything.
realize exactly who I am, where I am, the strength I possess, the power that is within, the power I project, all these things rounded into one, along with the fact that I'm still a gentle person, that was enough for me to know what I need to say to people, how I
Hmm.
need to say it, the person I
Hmm.
need to continue to be, because people don't latch on to you because you're a pushover. That ain't the latch on you get. It ain't no type of pushover power that you possess. So when you have a certain type of power that you possess, you know what to put off and how it's received. You cannot tell me for 10 years.
10 years, honey. Hold
Got
that.
that man thinking he in there doing work.
Think he
He
killing the
wrong
game,
for thinking
killing
that.
the game.
He wrong for thinking that.
He
Because
thought he was killing it.
every if you ain't know your wife body, just like she ain't know what it was that she needed.
He ain't paying attention.
Need it where
That
the
part.
sexual where the communication at?
Look, I ain't trying to act like I'm the greatest, but a while
Some folk
ago,
play at all of that.
I learned there's verbal in sex, there's verbal communication and nonverbal. You got to pay attention to the cues of the body. The body gonna react to things that the woman likes, and the body gonna react to things that she don't like. If
Hmm.
you do something and the body reacts and she like that, keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
But
Yep.
you got
And
to
that's
pay
the same
attention.
thing with that man. Most men, a lot of times, if they haven't been around the right woman, same thing with a woman. If the right women haven't shown them what they like, a lot of times they
Hmm.
don't know until they experience the right woman. Same thing with that woman. Until she experienced the right man or the right partner in general, the right sexual person that knows how to hit these areas that you have never been touched in before, will show you what you like. But until then, I've heard men be able to communicate what they like way better than women. I've had my friends tell me that they don't, he know what I like. And I'm like, how he know? Because he just do it. That what? You ain't never had to say, you ain't never said
You
I
had
like
to
it
tell
like this.
somebody.
So when somebody if they biting on your nipple and it hurt and you just gonna let them keep biting it?
Some people will.
Are you out your
I
bruh?
mean,
That go because, like he said, some woman they don't want to hurt the person feeling.
But so you'd rather be hurt.
They rather
but
be hurt.
because there's in general we know nipple stimulation, maybe kissing on the neck, kissing
But you
on
got
chest.
exactly.
Kiss
Exactly.
clitoral stimulation. In general, we know that, but it's like I've been having conversations with women about their orgasms, and every woman don't orgasm the same. So I
Right.
know for me, from the conversations I've had, you got women who are clitoral orgasmic, women who are vaginal orgasmic, and women who are both clitoral and vaginal
You
orgasmic.
got women who cream, you got women who squirt, you got women
Yeah,
who do. Women are
do both.
different. We're different.
People like
Very
different
different.
stuff. So
Yes.
in general, yes, there are some things that are standard, across the board for every human being, because we all got the same equipment. But from individual experience, that's what people got to take into account. Individual experience. I might like to get bit in the back. The next person might not like that.
You got, but the only
Hey,
way you're gonna know is to converse about it. You got to talk
you
about
got
it.
to talk
You
about it.
got
You
to
Look,
got to
talk
talk
about
about
it.
it.
You
the
got to talk
first
about it. Great. You're not gonna have great sex with nobody if you cannot say what you like or what you don't like. You cannot.
yeah,
Like, and
the
if they're
first
doing it wrong, you
you
gotta
got to
tell
tell them. The first time I had a conversation, it blew my mind. First time I had a conversation with a black woman about how much she liked anal sex. This particular woman enjoyed anal sex
Wow.
more than vaginal sex. So the dude meet her. Let's say she meets a dude who's not into anal sex at all. Those two people don't need to have sex.
them. No.
Mm-mm,
But guess what?
Cause she ain't into that.
It's a good chance they might try to have sex, and they might have sex, and then she bend over and say, "Put it in my butt," and now you got a conflict. Y'all ain't had no conversations and nothing like that before that. Y'all better look. I'm just saying. At some point, you got to talk.
Put it in my butt.
Yeah, cause I got a certain thing about.
Joe
I ain't
said,
even
put
gonna
it
go
in
there.
my
I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't even
But
gonna
it's like
go there.
you you'll be surprised as a
She
black
wanted.
dude.
She wanted. She wanted in
As
her
a black
butt,
dude,
baby.
it blew my mind to how many black
butt.
women are into that.
Oh my God.
Well,
It's a lot of
I
it's a lot of black women into that. But
It
baby, you
ain't the
come
'90s no
anyone in
more.
my
ain't, baby. I'll be looking at you crazy. You come out. What?
baby, don't touch.
Hey,
It's a lot of things you can probably do back there, but putting your penis is not one of them.
It's
but
not one of
right
them.
now, overall, black people are sexually conservative. Just culturally,
Oh
we're a
yeah,
lot
I'm
more
not.
sexually
I
conservative
don't believe that, Joe.
than. Well, no, like, because think about it. All
I
right,
think they be lying, Joe. I think they be
no,
Yeah,
no.
lying.
I think
Look
they
at this,
lie. Yeah, I don't
because we
believe that now, Joe. Now you know
culturally,
what? If you think about the black church and all of that,
All that, yep, yep,
yeah,
because
yep.
yeah,
Because
and
they
yeah,
use
because
that,
yeah,
that they use the church as a
yeah.
shackle.
right
And that's
now,
our problem too. That's our problem too. The
now,
black
now,
church is our problem because they
right
need to talk about it and they don't
now,
want to talk about
remember, sexual conservatism don't mean you ain't busting it open. Don't mean you ain't having sex, but it's like different types of sex. Like how many black people go out in the woods and have sex with trees? White people do that. They call them what
Oh, so we
eco
ain't
sex.
freaks because we don't hunt trees.
No, we freaks. We just not as sexually out
They
there
call them
as
tree
it.
huggers,
white
Who
ain't it?
folks.
finna do that?
You'll be
That's
surprised.
like them. That's like them going out there messing with the goats and stuff.
Right.
If that makes them more of a freak than us, then they win.
Oh, trust me, we weren't
You
even
can have
racing.
that.
We weren't even racing.
That part.
They
But it's
win.
Like
but it
what?
but from the way the media portrays it, especially like the way black sexuality is put out into the media, it seemed like all of us are just freaks and that we just do
Yeah.
everything. But
Yeah,
in reality,
We
that's
are
true.
a,
conservative.
a good number of us, now trust me, it's some of us out there that get it in worse than some of those other folks. But that person is that just represents themselves.
That's it. That's it. We're gonna get it in, but we just might
That's
not
crazy.
want to do it in a church bathroom, or we may not want to, do it at our mother-in-law house
We
in the
might we
bath.
might not
We might
we might not invite no animals in, huh?
we may not have,
Nah, we
or we
ain't
might
doing
not,
that.
or we might not keep all the windows open. Although I will, but we might not have all the curtains open. It's a lot of times we might. I think that and the weird thing about me is that I think the older I get, the less I just don't care about
Yeah.
what
You in
people
your
think
prime.
about me.
You in your
Yeah.
prime.
Yes, Joe.
And people and you done did it in some
And
crazy places.
what's the song? They say crazy
And some
places.
crazy
That's Bobby
places.
Valentino singing on that
Uh-huh.
track. Who
Hey,
who I can't even sex something, but sex and crazy spaces. That's Gucci song. But the point is that we have to do what we like. We have to communicate what we like. It cannot be great sex if you're not actually having good sex. Like, you know how many people I have talked to that said that they've been having great sex all their life. And then I tell them to tell me why it's great sex. And then I be like, y'all ever tried any other positions? Or they most like, we just missionary. Well, bitch, how the fuck is that great sex?
What? That's
well,
the only
well,
position?
now they are right for them, but wrong for
And
you.
that's what I've had to accept, Joe.
Yeah.
That but no, but this is the thing. Once they step outside of that and go and now they that relationship
And
over, they go into
explore.
another relationship
Now
and
you
now
got
they go over here and they learn that
You
this
can't go
exists
back.
and it's like, well,
You
what the
can't go
hell have
back.
I
you
been
got to have some tricks in your
doing?
bag. You got to have some tricks in because if you ain't got with for me, I think because I had a conversation with Miss
I had
Lady.
experience like that.
She's a sexual expert. She's like one. She's the only person in the United States to be certified in like Tibetan tantra or something like that. She went to Tibet. She came back. Like we have our interview on our channel, Debbie Ward Erickson. But after
Mm-hmm.
my interview with her, my outlook on sex changed. Is I'm no longer like, yeah, I need to make her have an orgasm. I'm more like we need to have a pleasurable experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because having a
Hmm.
pleasurable experience is gonna get you where you need to go anyway.
Yeah,
Yep.
together.
So so in order to have a pleasurable experience, we got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
If we ain't on the same page, we're gonna be out there shooting in the dark and missing the target.
Struggling.
And
Just
somebody gonna be
struggling.
mad.
Yeah.
Just the struggling.
Yeah. And
Somebody is going to be mad because they
now
did not get pleasure.
now I do feel sorry for a lot of y'all women though, because there's
Mm-hmm.
plenty of videos going around on the internet where they
Mm-hmm.
got vagina models and they're asking men find the clitoris and they pointing at everything but that.
Oh yes, a lot. But see, I have never ran into a man that didn't know that. I don't. I've never. So I don't understand that. But it is. I don't. I what you know what bothers me about that is that like this is where I be so This is problematic for me because women are the most powerful people in this universe, right? And what we utilize sexually is what creates the sexual experience. It's
Hmm.
us. We're the sexual experience. The men just bringing the tool to the party, but everything with our body creates the whole. We got breasts, we got a booty,
Everything. The
we got
whole,
a
like you said, the
mouth.
whole
Ooh,
experience.
we create the whole. Joe, don't laugh. We we create the whole
We got the
experience, right?
kinkles, all of that.
Everything. We got everything. We got the muscles that contract and restrict. We got all of the things that make the party fun. Yeah, we will make these men feel like they are pleasuring us and they ain't doing a damn thing. Because if you leave my house and I gotta pull out a toy or do anything to continue to finish myself, I what was the point of that?
That well, it wasn't no point. It wasn't no use for that.
What was the point of that?
It
But
wasn't
we
no
have been
use for
so
that.
quiet. We have been so quiet. We allow people to really to believe that they're giving us orgasms and that we're and really in our actuality, I don't know what man can just go for the fact that that she came and she really didn't come. Like I don't know how you just believe that.
Because they
He might not care. He just get what he want.
But
that
that's
too.
all. But that's what it is. But so women. So you confusing. What are you doing? That's like what are you doing? It fall on you to get to correct that situation before he walk out the door.
Yeah, got to. You got. I mean, but us men are guilty too. I've been
Just
I've
as
been gui-
guilty.
I've been guilty of having an experience that was straight trash and didn't say nothing to the person because in
That's
my mind
crazy.
I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I'm gone. I'm done.
Because you ain't
I
got
ain't
to
let-
never do it again.
right,
Let the next man deal with that.
right. That was the mindset then. Now, as I got older, I was like, you know what? We ain't finna do this. You know, I'm finna. So now I let you know what I like up front.
That
Well,
conversation at the beginning.
if you don't, then
Because you
it's you
already
really
know if you're
wasting your
going to sleep with
time.
that person or not. You already
We
know.
Yep.
we know.
Yep.
You know you want
Yep.
to give me
Look,
something. I know I want to
look,
give it to
women
you.
know that. I know when I want to look. Yeah,
Exactly.
all right.
And we all
That's
know.
it. We
If you
know.
don't know, then you playing yourself. How you gonna act
For
like you ain't
real.
like this person? Stop joking. We know what's gonna happen. We know when it's gonna happen. We know all of that.
You already
We
know.
sit and play the field because that's what's fun.
Yep.
However, when you come to that point and if you're not satisfied, are you gonna continue to let it happen? More than likely, yes. And that's the issue. That's all I'm saying. Just because this man fine or he got a couple of dollars or he do this right, like cause he could be a real headhunter and not know how to hunch, but got a good tool. So now you in control of this. That's all I'm saying. You now, if you speak up and communicate, you can show him, give him the rhythm, give him because that means all these people before him just been before you just let him come in and wreck shop because it's big.
And that been it.
Yeah. Hey,
You ain't finna
uh,
be pleased, and I ain't gonna be pleased. It don't work like that with
I
me.
mean, it don't even make sense.
Mm-mm. Sorry, that don't work for me.
it,
That don't work for me.
I had to get
it
closer to read
no
this.
that okay. It says, ladies, do eating ass contribute to great sex? He's asking for a friend. Eating ass contributes to great foreplay.
If you like it,
If
If
you
you
like
like
it.
it, if you
If you
like it,
like it.
sex is strictly intercourse, but that foreplay,
That flow play is
but
hey
that
different.
foreplay,
Taurus, you crazy man.
but that foreplay is a whole different subject. Anybody else got anything else to say
It
about
gets you
that
in the mood. It
question?
gets you in it gets you in the mood, but that question is off the chain.
Hey man, hey man.
That trick daddy done.
The only the one thing as the sex prevention, man. The one thing I tell people about that is be careful about who you're doing that because like when I was learning about hepatitis, the way the lady taught me is
Yeah, you
hepatitis
can get
A. A lot of times hepatitis A is what you ate. So
yeah.
you get
It comes from the
hepatitis
Mm,
A
ass,
from unclean butts.
ass.
So yeah.
Yeah,
mm.
it's very true, true indeed. So y'all ladies, if y'all like y'all men too, who
Make sure it be
obviously like
clean.
their ass clean, make sure that ass is
Hope
clean
you
back
got
there.
them baby wipes back there.
Cause baby, I,
Better go soak.
You need a little soap and water. Get that peppermint soap for you.
don't come in. No, I don't think. I see. I don't like filthy sex though. So I don't like that
Oh no,
after
I got to.
gym.
You got to be
Like I don't
clean.
like that after gym sex. I'm not doing that.
Who finna do that?
People do it. Look at Queen face.
I'm
People
big on
do
smell. I'm real
That
big on smell.
Joe, that part,
If it don't
that
smell right, we
part.
got an issue. I can't.
Yeah,
I've had.
I don't like
I,
I don't like
Let me
musty
go. Let
balls,
me
and I
go
don't
get in the
want no man to
shower.
like a
I'll
look,
be
musty
back.
cat.
that's another thing that ruins sex. That ruin the quality of sex is people who are unsanitary, unclean, and the cooch stink, or dudes walk around with their balls and stuff
Musty
stink. Like, man,
balls.
wash yourself. Wash before you hunch. Wash.
Bro, if you know you finna go
Baby,
hunch, bro,
please.
and bro, go in them people bathroom, bro.
Tell him
Don't
to.
just,
Matter of fact, tell him to join you, or tell her to join you.
bro,
Go
like,
wash.
oh my, I've never, that's why I know I'm grown, cause I just stopped
That's
fucking if I had to
crazy.
go through anything like this. If I had to go through these type of things, I think that would probably have me as a nun.
Cause
Mm.
I
look,
ain't finna.
I've experienced some girls who that
But
no,
I've heard that about a lot of women before that it's some really unclean people.
it
And
is.
it go back to what you eat too, like your body, what you put in your body. Like you
Well,
really
yeah,
got to be mindful of what you eat, and especially the older you get.
yeah. You just reminded me of what I was thinking about earlier. I meant to say another thing that contribute to great sex is like you're saying what you put in your body and how you take care of your body.
Ooh, Joe.
The The
Your
better
best
you
bet is
take
to
care of your body, the better the shape you're in, the better the sex you'll have, and the higher your sex
come on,
drive
Joe.
will be. A lot. Think about a lot.
Come on,
I
Joe.
know we was having an issue in the United States, especially with a lot of black men, but a lot of men have like 30. They're 35 with low testosterone levels, but they look like they built like they 18 months pregnant.
They
Like
fat.
Mhm.
you can't have that much weight around your midsection
Around
like that
that
and
midsection
expect to
is
be healthy.
serious.
Right. So it's you do have to be in good shape. If you're not in good shape, that can decrease the quality of sex, especially
And
long
that's
term.
in both. That's in both of us, sex,
Right.
women
Men
and men.
and
Like,
women.
yeah,
Right.
we bought. This person told me in the gym today. It was like, I people funny. I thought it was funny. I would say that because I'm not a person that get really, really offended by things real
Mm-hmm.
easily. Because now these days, no, he say at me.
Joe laugh. You stupid. E. You stupid. You stupid. E. You off the chain, E. You off the chain. Hell
This
no.
shouldn't even be this funny. Go away.
Right.
We gonna block you, E. We gonna block you. Thank you. Eat more pineapples. That is very true. That
Oh
is
God, he
very,
got me
very
in
true.
tears.
Hey, that was
he
funny.
said, he said, at me next
He gonna
time,
pull up
Joe.
on me now. My bad, dog. Don't
Pull
he gonna
up
pull up on
on you. Boom.
Oh my goodness. But what I was trying to say was this dude told me he was like, it's somebody I know. I always see him in the gym. But today I guess, he just had to say this. But he was like, man, I bet when you have sex, it'd be fun. And-
What? Queen, hold up, Queen.
okay. Okay. So what was your response?
Well, yeah,
I'm,
like, what did you say, Queen? What you said?
I'm still trying to get the tears out my eye from E. But um I at first I giggled a little bit and I was like, wait, what? And then because
You had to think about
I had to
it.
think about it. I was like, wait a minute. He was like, no, I'm serious. He's like, but because you just seem like you really in great shape. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, well, thank you. And then I walked away. But when I thought about that, I thought about our show today, and it's true. If it said on here that you have to be in good shape to keep up a great sex life,
Yep.
you gotta eat healthy, you gotta live healthy, and you gotta maintain a healthy lifestyle to continue to have great quality sex. Why y'all think 70 and 80-year-old people be having sex?
Be
And it's
out
gonna
here
be a
having
lot of us
sex
not
still.
being able to do that because we ain't even gonna make it to 70. And then a lot of the ones that do, they ain't gonna be able to even see their penises and stuff.
Well,
Mm.
So
Dick Gregory talked about I think it was one of the first books or the health book he put out. But one of the things that made Dick Gregory lose weight and get in shape, man, but he went vegetarian. I'm not saying you have to go vegetarian, but
to be
he was
healthy.
in his mid-30s with erectile dysfunction.
What?
Mm.
Because
Wow.
remember, heart health is connected
Jeez.
to penis and vagina health.
Right,
The
right.
blood got to come from somewhere to come from your heart.
Got the flow.
Penis get
Yep.
hard off of blood flow. Vagina get wet from blood flow. Blood has to flow. And if the blood is being impeded because of arteries clogged or anything or excessive, you make your heart work too hard, then that's going to affect, especially for men, that's going to affect that erection. So when I
Hmm.
when I heard that, man, I went and brought a salad that day.
It changed your whole eating habits.
Change your whole
Like
life.
for real though, think about that.
That's
If you
real
just
talk,
sitting up
though,
eating a
Joe.
whole lot of fried food and fast food, think about the artery deficiencies that you create for yourself, like
Beef and pork.
stagnance, and then like people you get tired quickly in between sex. You can't
Hmm.
maintain sex more than 15 minutes because
You got to
like
put it
you
on
know what I'm
pause.
saying. After foreplay, you got to take a break.
Hey, look,
Wow.
even like I'm not telling people to take sea moss. I take sea moss,
I
but
take it.
I
but
take
I
it.
know like you had like somebody like Dr. Sabi who was making babies at 80 years old. You do have, but you also have some 70-year-old men who may not take sea moss, but they're relatively healthy enough to
Healthier.
still make babies. Look, my
Yep.
my dad, he was close to 50 when he made my second two brothers, because there's a 19 and 20, basically a 19-year gap between sets of boys with my dad.
Mm.
Hmm.
So that's promising for me. Cause the only thing messed me up. I ain't got the hairline. I'm the one dude that ain't got no hairline. But my dad in his 60s, he's still having sex and he still can have sex. So that makes me feel good. But relatively, he's healthy enough. What you put in your body and what you think about, all those things, it matter.
It matters. It
It
really does
matters.
matter. We
It
have to
does.
think more about that, especially when we're talking about having great sex. You cannot have great sex without having a great sexual lifestyle or a healthy lifestyle. And being healthy does not mean you not might have a little bit of a gut. You still may have that. You still may carry that or whatever, but you still have to be living healthier. And as you live healthier, that gut tends to disappear. So once you change your habits and all of that gonna change with it. It coincides together, but you do have to change it. It can't just
Hmm.
happen on its own.
Yeah,
So
got to be healthy. It's
pleasure
got.
and sexual pleasure is very, 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 very
And great
important.
sex is also exercise as well.
Right,
Yes. Right. Right.
right.
Great
But
sex is also exercise as well.
Candace, how long you been married?
It'll be 7 years in
7 years.
September.
And but y'all been together for a minute.
But we've been together for a while, and it's
Right.
been good the whole ride.
So
The whole ride.
and
So
so just uh, as a I'm asking this as a single man who is looking for somebody to be a wife and who already has the mindset that I want to please my woman long term. So somebody like me, what advice would you give me as far as keeping the sexual chemistry for keeping that sexual chemistry going in the relationship?
the foreplay and being spontaneous.
I like
The
that.
That's
the the more the morning tech the just I mean just spontaneous. Flowers, cards. If she a person that like flowers, because I love flowers.
mhm.
You bring me some flowers, I might just like. But flowers, card, being spontaneous. That time, just women like for I know with me for you to just plan something without me having to tell you.
Spontaneous.
That's spontaneous. Just plan it. Well, look, we're gonna go do this or we're gonna go do that. You plan it yourself. I don't know nothing about it, none of that. And honesty. But it's all about the mind. All about the mind. You get somebody mind, the compliments, all of that. All of that matters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what I got out of that is I need to go buy them toilet bowl covers and put them over my face and tell it just sit on my face. That's what you're saying.
No, no, but you got to be able to please. You got to be able to please her now.
No, I
Like,
got you. Yeah, you have to
but
though.
yeah, like for women like foreplay.
Right.
They ain't just trying to rush and nah. Now maybe we might need a quickie because I got to get back to work. You need to get back to
But you're
work.
gonna have to do something.
But you
And
got
most
to
of the
do. You
time,
got to do
most of the
something.
time, even in a quickie, like that's because y'all done talked up
You didn't
something,
led up to
done
that.
led up to something to get to that. It ain't so she
Yeah,
already riled up, you riled up, y'all gonna come and it's gonna go down and it is what it is. But we got to get to that. Like that foreplay
got to get to
matters.
that.
Foreplay does matter,
It
y'all.
really does. It
It
really
really
does
does.
matter.
Right.
We're gonna get out of here for the day, y'all, because we have
Man,
been
we done
keeping
went
y'all
way
here for the
overtime
day.
on y'all today.
But y'all been staying tuned and keeping up with the conversation, which makes it even more great. Thank you to our brother Joe for dropping
Yeah.
in today
Ain't
Absolutely.
no thing. Ain't
and
no
giving
thing.
us all that sexual energy that he
Look,
brought to the show.
when I saw that title, I was like, oh
Oh,
shoot.
he was already ready. She was already ready, Queen. He was already ready, Queen. Like when he see that title, his antenna said, "Boop." And look, you a Capricorn like me, so I already know Joe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Joe
already
was
yeah,
know.
ready.
yeah.
Joe was
I was
ready.
halfway
Joe
ready before
don't
I saw the
he
post.
don't waste no time. Not when it's talking about sex. He don't waste no
At
time.
There you
all.
go.
He don't waste no time. But we do appreciate y'all for tuning in today. And if you ain't doing nothing else out here while taking care and being protected sexually, have great sex.
Mhm.
Be a great
Massage
sex
Absolutely.
too, Joe.
partner.
Massages too.
Oh
Massages
yeah.
too.
Do and massages lead right into sex. Ain't
Oh, I
nobody
already
not
know
Yes.
that.
having
I
ain't
learned that in
nobody
college.
not having sex after no massage. Come on, let's talk about it. Now we're gonna jump into this silk as we get up out this show here for today, because y'all this what y'all gotta be doing.
Mm, not silk, girl. Not silk.
Hey, hey, Silk will get you right.
All that 80s and 90s R&B will get you right.
Hey, look
A lot
there.
of y'all don't know a lot of y'all don't know about stuff like this. This is why
I
y'all
know
ain't
we
having
don't
great
care for the
sex.
R. Kelly stuff no more, but baby.
back back when we ain't know.
Back
Back
when
when
we
we
didn't
didn't
know.
know. When we didn't know. And we
Well, we
still don't know about
appreciate
some
y'all
that we
so
listen
much. Joe,
to
you got
now.
any wonderful any words of wisdom you want to get to the people today before we get out of here, Joe?
If it's anything I learned, especially like these last couple of years, is just for every individual. Life is a series of choices and actions that you take.
Mm-hmm.
These ladies on this podcast, because they actually put the work in to make this podcast happen. I'm doing what I'm doing because I've actually put the work in to make it happen. Everybody doing what they're doing to make life happen. If you don't make it happen, it ain't gonna happen, because everybody who's sitting back waiting on life to happen, well, life's sitting back waiting on you to make it happen first. So make it happen.
Make it
All
happen.
right. Y'all heard Joe. Queen.
Hey, stay positive, stay love, glow. Just glow, y'all. Just glow. Just be you. Be great. Be great. Greatness lives in all of us. And thank y'all for watching SW Podcast on our favorite day, which is Wednesday. We truly appreciate everybody. And we appreciate the support. So y'all have a great rest of the week, baby. The weekend almost here. What?
Well, I'm gonna say this before we go there. In the year 2020, women fell behind having sex 5% less than men, which means that every time a man was having sex, it wasn't always with a woman. Stay strapped, stay smart. Y'all have a great one. Be safe out there.
That's
And
a whole nother topic.
always tune in to Podcast Wednesdays. We will catch y'all next Wednesday. See y'all then.
Y'all
Peace.
better wrap that thing up.